It looks like I'm live, and I always say it looks like I'm live, and then people say you are live, which is great news. But I always like to double check that I am actually live and it's going out. And not only is it going out, that you can hear me, you can see me, that it all makes sense. Okay, bring the gin, says Rob Akers, Richard Matthews, Nick Husek, everyone tuning in. This is great. Thank you so much. A pleasure to have you as always. I'm just going to make sure all my streams are rock and roll right now. I didn't need to do that, but I did that. Okay. Greetings to you all. Happy Mondays. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Okay. James Hart, James Finnegan, all these people tuning in. Thank you so much. As much sense as anything makes on Monday. Joss Taylor, Alex Moores, Mark Teague, everyone. Okay, look, I'm going to talk about gin because, yes, the society has gin, believe it or not. I've probably got my mic cranked a bit much because I'm going to be a bit further away from it during this session. Oh, my phone's telling me I'm live. That's useful to know. I'm going live right now, and I'm going to talk about gin. Now, Scotch Malt Whisky Society. Scotch Malt Whisky Society. Think about that for a second. I should introduce myself as well. For those who don't know, and I know many of you know me already, but my name's Matt Bailey, and I'm the National Ambassador for the Scotch Malt Whisky Society here in Australia. Now, the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, it's a whiskey society. We're a whiskey club. We bottle whiskey for our members. We host events online, in person, around the world. And we release an outturn, which I don't even have an outturn in front of me, every single month full of great whiskey. It's always single cask. It's always panel approved. It's always... everything's fantastic about it. It's always full flavored whiskey. Back in 1991, I think it was, the society released a rum. The outrage, the pure outrage. And I think it was around the same year or in 93, we released Irish whiskey. Pure outrage. How dare a Scotch Whisky Society release Irish whiskey? Then, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. The Scotch Malt Whisky Society, pardon me, released Japanese whiskey. The outrage. How dare you release Japanese whiskey? The letters that came in. I think I posted one to this Facebook group. If you've not seen it yet, you should take a look at it. Amazing how much people were upset by Japanese whiskey being bottled. Now, we fast forward to 2020, and we've released some gins. We've got a few coming through the pipeline, including one called Smoking Jacket Gin. That's on the website right now. We've already released it. We just popped it up on the website. We didn't tell anyone about it. Didn't put an email out yet. Don't worry. You'll see it on an email coming out soon, but it's already on the website if you want to grab one. We've had a couple of gins already through the society. Coriander Meander comes to mind, which was the first one we saw. And then last month, escapes me. Hold on. June outturn. I do have an outturn on my desk after all. Look at this. Makes the better gin go down. That is sold out. So we put another one up on the website because we've got one more to go. GN 3.6 Scottish gin, Smoking Jacket gin from Howick. Am I saying that right? You know, any Scots listening in, you're going to tell me how to say it properly. You're a pro at this, man. Thanks, Joss. I really appreciate it. Your levels are fine. Really appreciate it. Category creep. Oh, Joss, mate, you made my night. Actually, you really have. Not Scotch, not malt, not whiskey, still a society. Alex, couldn't have said it better myself. G&T o'clock. Look at this. Bob Wenting. Look what's in front of me right now. I'm here to make a G&T. How cool is that? You're watching a whiskey ambassador, a non-bartender, make a G&T. That's the internet. There you go. Hi, Matt. Great story. Darren, I appreciate it. Look, it's true. We've always been pushing the boundaries, upsetting people with the category change. But first and foremost, what we are most about, and I can't stress this enough, we are most about flavor. We're most about experiences, and we're most about bringing that experience to members. Whether you want to drink at home, whether you want to drink at our events, whether you want to take it to a friend's place, you take it on a picnic. The whole idea is that you can take these whiskeys, you can take these gins, you can take these rums, you can take these spirits places, and they will take you places. The people and places I've been and met through being in the society, even as a member and as an ambassador, have been unbelievable. Alex Moore's can attest to that. He knows that very well. Is that a noun, adjective, or verb? Hi, says Bob. Look, it's so great to have so many people tuning in, as always. There's people watching on YouTube. There's people watching on our Facebook page. There's people watching on our Facebook group. Tim Steens, Gerald, Pete Visky. Thank you so much for tuning in. Pete Visky. That's a cool surname. Okay, I've got a glass with some ice in it. Already ready to go. Now, I just literally put the ice in there, as you can see. Not even a chance to melt it all because it's literally just come out of the freezer. I also have here a new gin. I'm going to open this up. We're going to have a chat about gin. Get the cap off that. Sound check. It's got to have the right sound. This is a barrel matured gin. It's had roughly 9 months. So I'm going to start with a full measure. Ooh, look at that. Very light in the color, if at all. So I've got a full 30 mils, maybe 32 mils. And I'm just going to pop that in the glass there. Here we go. Was that professional? Huh? And then I'm going to drop a bit of Indian tonic water in. I like Fever Tree. This is not an endorsement. They are not paying me to say this. I even bought this product myself. I like Fever Tree tonics. I like their ginger ales. I like their mixes in general. I think make great mixes. If you're going to have a good spirit, may as well put a good mixer in. That said, my repurposed water bottle, Schweppes tonic water. It's easy to bash it because it's mainstream, but it's actually not bad. It's actually a good tonic. Anyway, there's lots to be said about good tonic going into a good gin. So I've poured that gin in. Now I'm going to top it up with a bit of tonic. I'm not going to flood it. I'm not going to flood it. I don't think you need to, but I'm also going to pour a bit of that gin into one of our single cask spirits glasses here. I want to be able to taste the gin on its own as well. I'm sure many of you will understand exactly what I mean by that. Let me pop that there. And I've just cut, and I just trimmed that a little bit more. 1 second. It looks a bit messy at the moment. There we go. That's a fairly decent bartender's cut. Just giving that a bit of a garnish. Drop that in. And I have here a Society gin and tonic. How easy was that? No shaking, no macerating, no mushing. You know what? That's actually really nice. I like Indian tonic. It's quite light, Indian tonic water. Natural flavors, natural quinine. I don't like overly sugary tonics. I find the sugar. I like quite a savory G&T, if that makes sense. Now it says in the bottle here, Scottish gin, a complex array of waxy citrus fruits and mango. I got the mango on that first sip just then. Balanced warm spice from cloves, ginger, and lime pickle before joining coriander and kaffir lime. That's why I've gone with lime as the garnish. I read those tasting notes and I've gone with lime as the garnish. Just a bit of fun. Might complement, might contrast, might work. Yeah, I know what they mean by that whole sort of like the mango, warm spice and mango, ginger, lime pickle, and kaffir. That's fantastic. Let me grab some of these comments whilst I'm talking a bit about gin. I must say, even though we have been members less than a year, we have met some amazing people, awesome people, and learned a lot and have got some amazing whiskey in our collection. So thanks, Matt and SMWS. I love those comments. Darren, I love hearing you say that. And all we ever want to do is do the best by our members always. That's why we're here. We're here because you're here, because we get to bring great whiskey in and share it with our members. And that's all that counts. And by the way, Darren, there's some great events happening in Queensland soon. I won't say as far as Cairns, but you never know your luck. What's the ABV on that puppy? Asks Steve Oates. Steve, the ABV, good question, is 49.8%. 49.8. That is cask strength. It's quite low though. I don't know what the barrel proof was. I don't know what the strength of the spirit going into the cask was, if at all. That's a very interesting gin. I go so far to say the kaffir lime and the spices and kaffir lime are on the palate. It's a very oily gin. It's very full-bodied. If you're used to gin at 40% or even 43%, anything above that does actually have that a lot more body and weight to it, a bit like whiskey. I think I've used just the right amount of tonic. So I can really taste the gin. I can taste the gin in there. The tonic's not overpowering it. Like I said, not a fan of overly sugary tonics. That's why I've gone with the I've lost the cap for it already, so I'm going to have to make a few more G&Ts. Oh, no, there it is. That's why I've gone with the Fever Tree Indian tonic. Like I said, this is not an endorsement, not a plug. I bought this bottle myself. I just think it's a good tonic. And I've gone with the GN 3.6 Scottish Gin Smoking Jacket Gin. So obviously gin has a juniper base. I'm not going to go too much into details of the basics of gin, but it's a juniper base, neutral grain spirit that is infused with juniper and other spices and other flavors and other elements. In this case, there was some mango, there was some coriander seed, there was some lime, there was certainly other things in here that we're going to try and publish as much as that as we can moving forward. We do have a few gins coming, which is exciting. It's just, again, it's an experiment into flavor. It's $110 a bottle, which is good for cask strength gin, full-size bottle, of course. And I'm glad we're able to offer up to members as well. Try it with soda. Yeah, I might try it with soda next time as well. Darren says try it with soda after several very good bartenders recommended to get a true gin flavor in a G&T style. Darren, that's a good point. I often do like a gin and soda. I've gone with tonic this time, but on that point, if you are going to go with tonic, this one's very low flavor tonic. So it's as close to soda as it can possibly be. On the other end of tonic spectrum, you'd be looking at things like Fentimans and things like that. Fentimans is one, it comes to mind because it's quite an aromatic tonic. There are aromatic tonics out there. I don't know an awful lot about tonic. I try my hardest, but there's aromatic tonics out there that completely mask the flavor of the gin, but are lovely drinks on them by themselves at the very least. Tim, good to see you. James Finnegan swapped over to group. Good to see you. Matthew Adams says, hey, Matt, got a couple of the gins coming. Looking forward to it. Love the society's diversity. Matt Adams, you know what? That is the exact opposite kind of comment than we used to get. As I was saying at the beginning, in the early days of the SMWS, when we first did things like Japanese whiskey and first did things like rum, there was actual outrage. People were cutting up their membership cards because this is not what the society is about. I think as not just as a club, but as flavor appreciators and explorers, we've come a long way in being better at exploring flavor and accepting that flavor is not just categorized to one category of spirit. That's why we've kept the name Scotch Malt Whisky Society. We've kept the word society. We've kept SMWS. I think that's part of our identity these days. But at the same time, you can see, it says the Scotch Malt Whisky Society even on the bottle still. But we're just exploring more about single cask spirits from other categories. And I think that's important because it gives us an opportunity to taste things and to explore other spirit categories and other drinks. As I said before, flavor is first, always. If this was not a good gin, we wouldn't have released it. But obviously, Ewan and the team have tasted it and gone, that's a great spirit. There's amazing flavors. There's complexity to it. There's an oiliness to it. There's a richness to the spirit quality. Why not celebrate that? Why not taste it and celebrate that? Let me grab some more comments over here. Mark Teague asks, do you know, Matt, if the botanicals are added before or after barrel aging of the gin? Mark, usually speaking, it's before. I will have to find out for you, but 99% of the time, I'm pretty sure it's before. Are all the society gins Scottish? How does the barrel interact with gin rather than the new make? Nick Husek, very good question. Now, the first few gins that we've released were GN3s, GN 3.1, GN 3.3, and GN 3.6. So they're all from the same gin distillery. However, they're all Scottish gins. There are some non-Scottish gins coming through. So keep an eye out for those. So they're not all Scottish, but just the first batch have been. Just like when we first did the whiskies, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, etc. We're all Scotch whiskies. It wasn't until we got to I need an Alex Moore's brain at this point, or something like 114, 115, somewhere around there. It was when we first did a non-Scottish spirit, which was Japanese whiskey, I think, or Irish whiskey, one of the two. Yeah, it's true. Caleb, it's true. But I'll come back to, Nick Husek was also asking, how does the barrel interact with gin rather than new make? Yeah, very interesting question. It reacts very similarly in that it ages the product. The wood, the spirit essentially acts as a rot for the wood, if you like. It interacts with the wood and leaches flavor from it. However, it does react differently because they often go in at very different proofs. The proof of the spirit that goes into a cask, regardless of the spirit type, changes the interaction deeply, and how it's perceived, and how it's and how it leaches from the spirit from the wood. So generally speaking, a higher proof spirit rots the wood, if you like, or leaches the wood much quicker than a lower proof, which there's pros and cons to both. And that's an argument that continues to this day of what's the best strength to fill into. I think we've touched on that a couple of times, but it's an interesting subject, one that I'm keenly interested in myself. Yep, often find tonic water almost overpowers the gin. It's true. That's why a low flavor, zero sugar Indian tonic water I find really nice to pair with gin. Otherwise, I normally go soda if I want to taste just the gin. Or in this case, I've poured a little bit into a copper to be able to taste and nose appreciate it on itself by itself. Yeah, that's a lovely gin. It really is. I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I am not a gin drinker. By what I mean by that is, if I'm at a bar and I'm having some drinks, yes, I'll order a G&T, but I don't regularly make myself a G&T or drink gin at home. It's just not how I normally roll. I'm a whiskey drinker. I love whiskey. I love rums. I love cognacs, armagnacs, everything. But generally, gin for me is, I appreciate it. I like it. I can spot complexities in it. I've had to assess it in different occasions, and I enjoy it as a drink. But it's not one that I regularly reach for. It's a bit like white wine. I like white wine. I just don't care for white wine. Best distillation date ever. Irina, 1st of November 2018. That is, it's only 110, Irina. I don't mean to, it's not, I'm not trying to sell it to you, but honestly, that's all it is. Would you go with a dry or sweet vermouth for it? This one I'd go a dry vermouth because it's actually got a lovely sort of sweetness from the kaffir lime coming through. Like almost like that finger lime sweetness. So I'd probably go a dry vermouth just to balance it out. But I might actually make some society Negronis. How does that sound? Not tonight, but I might do that on, I don't know, Wednesday night or Thursday night or something. Anyway, 51 was an Irish, remember. Nick, you're way in front of me. Sorry, you're correct. 51 was Irish whiskey. That's an early code. And little heads up, actually, there's another 51 coming through the pipeline soon. So that's exciting. It won't be here until like Christmas, but don't worry about it. It's coming. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing any comments on the other streams, of course. Is this gin the mid-month? No, James, this gin is not the mid-month. Mid-month is tomorrow, and that's something else. This gin, however, is already on the website, and it will be in the mid-month email. But if you want to grab this gin, it's on the website. It's only 110. Like I say, it's exploration into flavor for us. It's a journey into another realm of flavor. Don't expect it to be something you see every month or even sometimes every year. It's just a chance for us to do something every so often that is flavor forward for our members. 51 was first Irish, 116 was first Japanese, but all of 116 through 120 were all Irish and Japanese. Yes. Martini. Negroni is too hard to make. Oh, Irina, Negroni is the easiest cocktail to make, and I'll prove it to you on a live stream. How does that sound? I'll show you how easy it is to make a Negroni, and I mean a really good one as well. So I'll take the mystery and magic out of a Negroni, and I'll make one using a society gin. Deal. Pardon me. That's really nice. I mean, it's the kind of drink I'd often reach for. By the way, the lime garnish, I think was spot on. Very lime-focused drink. Sweet lime, bitter lime, the kaffir lime, finger lime, whatever you want to say. It's all there. Lime pickle and cloves and ginger. I don't get too much ginger, just a little bit on the palate, which is lovely. Like that tiny bit you get in like a mild curry or something. It's lovely. So that was what I wanted to just touch on tonight. We have another gin, and it's very easy to make yourself a simple G&T as I have here. There can't be a long stream tonight. I have another appointment at 7:30, which is to do with our UK branch. I've got a digital meeting thing with our UK branch, which is actually focusing along the lines of flavor and experiential development, which is really exciting. So like I said, lots of things we're working on to better the overall society experience in Australia. Negroni Masterclass Friday live. Steve, you know what? You may have laid down laid down the gauntlet. I could do it Friday live. Why not? Why not? I'm doing it live right now. I mean, I could do it live if you want. However, I did say when I said I'm going live at 7:00, I did say, however, I would preview one of the Vaults collection bottlings coming out. And I'm going to do that right now. Right now. I'll show you what it is. I'm not going to open it, and I'm never going to open this. It's going to be one that we send to a member, but I wanted to be able to get some photos of it, see it, make sure the presentation is all perfect, and I'll show it to you. So the Vaults collection bottlings are now coming in our big Vaults collection, Vaults boxes. Let's examine, first of all, before I show you what that is, let's just examine, first of all, what the Vaults collection is. We have our standard releases, if you like, if you can call them standard, in our normal white livery. Then you have the premium releases. I wasn't prepared for this part of the presentation, mind you, but they come in the black label livery, something like that. You'll see there, the Shaman will see you now. Lovely whiskey. After the black label, you have you go white, black, Vaults. Simple as that. So I've gone from gin. I've gone gin and tonic tonight, straight up to Vaults. Now, I'm not talking about the Vaults release tonight per se. I just want to show you what was a bit of a preview, a bit of an outturn teaser for July outturn, of course. And I appreciate you hanging on for that one. So here we go. I'm going to pull it out of its box, actually. So you press this little clasp on the side here. Press the little gold copper clasp. The fling's open. We've got a tasting note on the top left there. And the bottle. Better be careful with this, actually. There's only 12 in the country. And I'll show you this now. We are releasing in July 53.308. Let the Tempest Towton Bloor, a 30-year-old sherried whiskey from Distillery 53, single cask, full maturation, refill sherry. That's extremely exciting. I'm very excited by that. And as a Vaults collection release that you're going to be able to spot in the July outturn. Some details for you. There's 12 bottles in the country. Not that many. There's 2 Vaults collections, however, in that outturn. I'll talk about the other one another time. But there's 12 bottlings of this one. And it is 1 bottle per member, and it is by ballot again. Ballot, I know some people love the ballot, some people hate it. The fact is, it keeps it extremely fair. The names go in, they're jumbled up, and they are spat out at the time of what we need to. We don't pick any of the names. They just go into the machine, they come out again. It means that you have an equal, fair chance of winning the bottle rather than not. Rather than those with the quickest internet connections in capital cities. We have members across the country who sometimes live in rural areas where internet might not be as strong. So in the name of fairness, it's about making sure everyone has access to it. I'll try that gin again. Gin. That's actually coming along really nicely now that the ice has integrated a bit better. And of course, I've still got my wee bit of it there. That might end up getting tipped into the final mix to amp it up. I don't know yet. Fair is best. I agree. I almost called you George. I'm looking at the names there, scrolling up. So, but that's right, Dr. Akers. Fair is the best way to do it. Keeps it fair for all. Yuri Dean says, "Hey Matt, Yuri, it's been a while. Hope you're well, mate. Good to see you." And John Prue, John, it's been ages, mate. Hope you're well. Great. And look, as I said, this is not going to be not a big stream tonight. Just a chance for us to talk a bit about one of our gins, a Smoking Jacket gin, which I think is a very apt name. It's lovely. And the gin sounds like it would make a great gimlet with the lime notes. Sam, you know what? I'm gonna bow to your knowledge on this. You know a lot more about gin than I do, and I'm happy to say that any day of the week. And so maybe we can do a joint stream and we can do gimlets together. You know what? Hit me up. That's all for tonight, folks. Until next time, which will be probably tomorrow night, of course. I try to go live every single night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great evening. Make yourself a nice GNT. Try it out. That's on the website now. It'll be in the email tomorrow, but you can grab one tonight because you saw it here first with me. In the meantime, have a great evening. As I said, I've said 3 times now, and I hope to catch you all soon. Cheers.